Have you ever wondered how a penny can turn into $1 million? Let's delve into the world of wealth accumulation. See, the thing is, becoming wealthy doesn't always demand massive investments or a spectacular lottery win. Rather, it's often the result of small, consistent actions. Imagine a tiny snowball perched precariously at the top of a hill. It may seem insignificant at first, but as it starts to roll down, it gathers snow along the way. With each revolution, it grows in size and speed, turning into a formidable snow boulder by the time it reaches the bottom. That is the power of small steps. Just like the snowball, your small financial decisions, when made consistently, can accumulate into a substantial wealth over time. It's not about the size of the step, but the persistence of the stride. Sounds simple, right? But the real magic happens when you apply the principle of the compound effect. Consider the story of Jane, a simple woman with an extraordinary journey. Jane's story begins in an ordinary town with an ordinary job and an ordinary life. But Jane had an extraordinary dream. She wanted to become a millionaire. So Jane started with a small investment. It was no monumental sum, just a modest amount that she could afford to set aside. Every month, like clockwork, Jane would add to this investment. It was not a get-rich-quick scheme, but a slow and steady race. Jane faced many hurdles along her financial journey. There were times when the stock market plunged and her investment seemed to shrink overnight. There were times when unexpected expenses arose and she was tempted to dip into her investment. But Jane was persistent. She understood that her dream was not a sprint, but a marathon. She stayed the course, never losing sight of her financial goal. She didn't let the fluctuations of the stock market deter her. She didn't let the allure of immediate gratification distract her. Instead, she focused on her long-term goal. Jane's story is not about striking it rich overnight. It's not about winning the lottery or inheriting a fortune. Her story is about patience, persistence, and the power of consistency. It's about understanding that wealth is not built in a day, but over time. It's about knowing that small, consistent efforts can lead to big results. And what happened to Jane? Well, over the years, her small, consistent investments grew. They grew not because of any single large deposit, but because of her consistent, regular contributions. And one day, Jane woke up to find that she was no longer just an ordinary woman. She was an ordinary millionaire. Jane's story is a testament to the power of small, consistent efforts. But what's the science behind it? That's where the compound effect comes into play. So what is this compound effect and how does it work? You might be wondering. Well, let's dive right into it, shall we? Imagine the compound effect as a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, almost insignificant. But as it rolls, it collects more snow, growing in size with every turn. This is precisely how the compound effect works. It magnifies your efforts over time, turning small actions or investments into significant results. Consider this. You decide to save and invest just £5 daily. Doesn't seem like much, right? But let's look at the bigger picture. Over a year, that's roughly £1,800. Now, if you invest that money in a savings account with a modest interest rate of, say, 4% compounded annually, and you keep this up for 20 years, guess what happens? Your £5 a day or £1,800 a year turns into a whopping £50,000. And that's not even considering any increase in your daily savings or the interest rate. This is the power of the compound effect. It's not about making a massive investment all at once. It's about making small, consistent investments over time. But here's the catch. The compound effect needs two essential ingredients: time and consistency. The more time you give your investments to grow, and the more consistently you invest, the more you'll benefit from the compound effect. It's like planting a tree. You don't plant a seed today and expect a fully grown tree tomorrow. It takes time and consistent nurturing. Remember, the compound effect isn't about instant gratification. It's about patience, persistence, and discipline. It's about understanding that small, seemingly insignificant actions, when performed consistently over time, can yield enormous results. The compound effect is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a get-rich slowly but surely strategy, and the sooner you start, the sooner you'll see the results. So, what are you waiting for? Start your journey towards wealth accumulation today.